Welcome, everybody, to a special Wire to Wire Sports Podcast, Fantasy Football Edition. We have 8 of the best drafters that we could find. We have Brett, the truth anchor. We got Cottrell, College Cottrell, knowing all the rookies coming through. We got TH Doubly, the Godfrey. We got the Hack NATO. We got Jordan Schechter, a.k.a. Jordan Schefter, Adam Schefter of the draft. We got Big R, a.k.a. the Mad Dog. And we got Wayne's World, our resident Cowboys fan that we get to throw things at during the draft. I'm kidding. It's a joke. We love you, Wayne. It's okay. He took his headset off when we were talking about him. But we are going to be drafting a fantasy football team. It is an 8-team mock draft. We're going to be doing 3 flex positions, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 quarterback. And yes, this is a 6-point quarterback league for anybody that's following at home. The draft order has already been randomized with Big R having the first pick. We're starting in 9 minutes. I'm going to open the floor up. Anchor, I want you to start. Anything that you want to talk a little smack about your drafting strategy, anything that you want to let the listeners at home know that why Brett Anchor is going to win this draft.
Hey, Gene, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. Really appreciate it. Love the work that you guys are doing. I'd first say I'm going to preface this with, I know we have one Dallas Cowboys fan on this call, but we also got one New York Giant fan on this call. So you can throw some of that crap along my way. I would say first off, with a point PPR league, I'm looking heavily at wideout and tight ends early on. I think with the state of running backs currently, with this dual kind of charge on running backs, as well as just number of holdouts, discontent running backs, and just the overall devaluation of the position, I'm looking at early on at definitely at some of the wide receivers that we have. I just don't see as much value in the in the running back position anymore. And I definitely think I definitely think there's real opportunity to differentiate yourself by going for the pass catchers. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack probably for that for years of fantasy football kind of golden rule of running backs early, but that's kind of where I'm taking it. And I think the combination of a lot of talented young wide receivers along with your historical veterans early on, I think there's definitely an opportunity to differentiate yourself. And I will say at the 5 pick, I'm definitely primed for that opportunity. So I look forward to the draft, and I'll turn it back to you.
We'll talk about the 5 pick, but the first pick in the draft, one of my best friends in the entire world, guys won multiple fantasy leagues, coming in with the number 1 overall pick, my man RJ, Big R, Railer Kaler, as he's known through the Verizon industry. How you feeling, Big R?
I'm feeling great, Gene. Thanks for the invite for this, man. I love showing what I can do in fantasy football. I love spreading the knowledge to a lot of these rookies out here that need the help. So I'm looking forward to this draft. I'm happy that I got the first overall pick, and I'm ready to go.
Well, definitely. After RJ, we got I'm leaving the podcasters to the end if you guys are wondering. After RJ, we have our resident mute. We don't allow Cowboys fans to talk on this chat. Wayniac, my man Wayne's World. I'm kidding, bro. He's one of my favorite Cowboys fans that you ever meet. Madden guy. Guy's awesome. He's very knowledgeable about football, knows his fantasy football. He's constantly a guest on Wire to Wire, like in the chat, stopping by. But we don't allow Cowboys fans to talk here. It's one of those things where we just don't let them talk. So he's on mute the entire podcast, and we will be making fun of his picks. Hopefully he's got thick skin and he can take it. But if not, oh well, we still love him. That's Wayne's World. What's popping, Wayne's World? Give him a thumbs up so they know you're there. I see he's showing the Cowboys logo. That's okay. Next to introduce, we got a dual fan guy. This guy likes 2 teams. He's not a real fan. It's okay. He's a dual fan guy. It's the Hack NATO. He's a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tennessee Titans. It's only when it's convenient he's a Titans fan. Other than that, he's an Eagles fan. Jalen Hurts guy. What's up, Hack NATO? How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling great today. Thanks for having me. I'm pretty happy with my pick, number 8. I'm just going to sit back, see what you all do. And hopefully there's some elite running backs left down there for me. I'm a running back guy.
RB guy. He's not waiting for the running backs. 18 league. He doesn't care. Give him the top 2 backs. He's going to be stealing your Saquon Barkley, Hank. He wants that 8th pick for Saquon.
Saquon's looking good at that 8th pick.
Yeah.
He's their best receiver and their best running back.
The entire offense.
Hank, I need you to log into the ESPN draft whenever you get a chance. You're doing when it's not active. And then next on the agenda, we got Big Daddy. We got Jordan Schefter, Adam Schefter's brother. I'm kidding. Jordan Schechter. The guy's been in multiple fantasy leagues. Don't let him kid you. And he's going to play himself down like he doesn't know what he's doing. The guy's in multiple big money fantasy leagues every single year. Jordan, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the fantasy program.
Thank you, bro. Good to be here. Happy to flex on some of these clowns in this room. I'm happy to do it. I'm humble. Humble. I don't want to come off as cocky or anything. I would say that I always have been more of a RB first guy. There's only so many good ones. I'm looking for some bell cows. You know what I mean? I think wide receivers are a dime a dozen. And, give me the Nate Burlensons, Jalen Waddles, Joe Horns of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Joe Horns of the world. All right.
Different caliber
podcasters. Now we get to the podcasters. From Taking It Deep, from Birds Deep, my man from Pregame and Pigskin, now sideline to sideline, my man THEE, GODFREY, the Godfrey, Matthew Godfrey, resident line drive softball hitter, and a guy that's mad about the 4-point quarterbacks that are moved to 6 points. But what's up, T. Godfrey? How you feeling?
Good. I'm excited to do this draft, my first draft ever. So, I can't wait to try fantasy football out for the first time. Let's go.
Well, we know that's a lie because he was the biggest complainer in the chat, but that's okay.
Just like a lot of first times.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last person I want to introduce is my co-host on Wire to Wire. The man knows everything about college football, College Cottrell. He's an NFL guy. He's a Browns fan. We don't just have Eagles fans in the chat. We got 4 Eagles fans, a Titans fan, a Giants fan, a Browns fan, and a Cowboys fan. So, College Cottrell, you know what to do. What's popping, brother? We're at the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Get the chance to be in another league with RJ. Show him the ropes a little bit. Get him ready for his upcoming fantasy football seasons. And then at the 6th spot, it gets real interesting. I got the 6th spot in a couple other leagues too. So this is definitely going to be a good little warm up to see how the board shakes out to start.
Must be fate, brother. Must be fate. But I'm turning the cross posting on. Everybody should be logged into the draft as it is now. We're cross posting across Sports Empire Network. We are ready to rock and roll. The picks are set at 90 seconds. As a reminder, everybody listening at home, take your time, explain your pick. Don't just quickly pick someone. Take your time, explain your pick, and then make your pick. Just don't get auto drafted. And we are about to get started in 90 seconds. I will talk a little smack. I will talk a little shit. Guys, the NFL genius is here for no reason. I 100% break down the sport of NFL. I'm in 9 to 10 leagues. Yes, there are some leagues that I've lost. There are some leagues that I finished low in, but there's also multiple championships hanging in those rafters. So you can say what you want to say, but 2-time work league champ, 2-time RJ's league champ, 3-time Jack's league champ, and multiple-time Calb League champion in the building, the NFL genius, who definitely has the most rings. Now, I might have played in the most leagues, but I definitely carry the most rings on this call. I will be dominating this draft from the 2 slot. I have a foolproof draft strategy. I draft the running backs that catch the football also. If I know who's going number 1, I'm pretty sure because I know who he is. I know who I'm going number 2 already, so you can already mark him off the board. Let's get rolling.
RJ, the real question is the pick in?
Oh, I got my pick. I was ready for this as soon as I was invited. I mean, it didn't matter. I had my guy locked and loaded. I already knew who I wanted at number 1.
RJ likes consistency. He likes to know what he's getting, and he's going to explain that pick coming up now. 15 seconds to draft. Let's get rolling. RJ Kaler, you are on the clock if you want to explain your first pick before you make it.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to make this happen right now. All right. The guy I'll be selecting had 128 receptions, 1,800 yards, and 8 touchdowns last season. All right. He's a reception king. He's going to eat all day, all year, every week. I said, you can't miss with this kid because he's just too good of a player. And with my selection, I'm going to go ahead and go with my man, Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson's a great pick, the model of consistency. You just got to hope he's not going against Darius Slay or Kirk Cousins in prime time or Jair Alexander. They're the weeks that will lose you football games. But other than that, Jettas dominates the fantasy football league. He's the consensus number 1 pick on most people's boards. He's not my number 1 pick on the board. And I'll tell you why, right? I'm going CMC here, run CMC in that San Francisco 49ers offense. I think it's a no-brainer. I love Christian McCaffrey running the football, but I also love him catching the football out of the backfield. I think the injury concerns are behind him, and I think Kyle Shanahan's got the perfect system, perfect scheme for Christian McCaffrey to have another amazing fantasy football year. Not only is he going to be the number 1 running back in the league, he might not run for the most amount of yards, but he'll also be a top 20 wide receiver with his receptions and receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. So I will draft right now Christian McCaffrey. Number 3 on the clock. You're there. Let's get it rolling.
It seems hard to be disappointed with that last pick. Only 3 drafts in, or 3 picks in. Every pick is good, but I thought I was going to take a little CMC, or mainly the exact same stuff that you were saying.
We got him frazzled? Is he frazzled at pick 3?
Round 3rd pick?
Yeah, your boy pick. All right, so listen, partially what I'll tell you is I am a fan of picking people that I believe in, and I like certain matchups more than others. For that reason, I'm just going to take Kelsey. On their team, I don't think that they've done anything. I mean, you're looking at Sky Moore and
so Jordan, you made your pick, brother. D Godfrey is on the clock. You got to explain your pick before you make your pick. Got to give Godfrey his time. THEE, you're on the clock. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. Wow. So we went Travis Kelce, huh, on that last pick.
I like Kelsey there. I think Kelsey's the biggest positional advantage in the whole league.
It's a safe pick.
Yeah, I'm going Jamar Chase here, because listen, that's one of those top tier elite wide receivers that, as you go on, you won't be able to get. And I think the guy has a stellar year. Sky's the limit for that team in Cincinnati. I know they're in a tough division, but that just means there's going to be a lot of scoring. So
for everybody picking, guys, do me a favor. Use your time to explain your pick. But once you make your pick, we got to move to the next person. They have their time. Anchoring down the draft at the number 4 pick. You are on the clock, my friend.
All right, so here's my thinking right now. So I personally really wanted Travis Kelce here at 5, as I was saying earlier in the show. I think the opportunity cost on tight ends is incredible. I mean, if you get down, even the difference between 1 and 2 alone is enough to warrant him being in a top 5 pick. So I thought that number 3 pick there of Travis Kelce was really a good pick. So I going with my philosophy, I'm really down to kind of 2 wide receivers here. I'm looking at Cooper Kupp and Tyreek Hill. And what concerns me about Cooper Kupp is he is coming off an injury. I mean, he is one of the most solid wide receivers in the league, but I think I'm going to have to go with Tyreek Hill here to just from injuries always scare me from the year before and production going down. So I am going to go with Tyreek Hill here coming out of Miami. So
like a pro, right? Anchor handling the draft perfect. Next on the agenda, bench, don't fail me now.
All right, so at the 6th spot here, honestly, was really thinking that Tyreek Hill would be the guy that was on the board, but you got you got a guy in Austin Eckler that's still sitting here at pick 6. I don't really know how I would be able to pass him up. This year, I don't really love Eckler and a lot of those guys that are in those franchise tag years and, holding out things like that. But the value that you get at pick 6 with Austin Eckler still being on the board is just way, way higher than everybody else. So pick 6 is pretty easy. If Austin Eckler's on the board, you got to take him.
My man Cottrell coming through on the 1s and 2s. Wayne's World is on the clock, so I'll talk during his pick. Take your time, Wayne. We'll make the agenda. If you want to type in the chat what your pick's going to be, so we can kind of break it down for you. But Wayne's World's on the clock number right now. Dallas Cowboy fan. Will he go Tony Pollard? Is he going to reach for the stars and get Tony Pollard? Or is he going to realize he's going to have some probably opportunities to get him later? Because we hate the Cowboys here, and that's okay. He's got the horns up. I see it. So if you're going horns up, what's your pick, brother? What are we going with? I just see a finger up. I don't know. What's the pick going to be?
That's a great question.
We got 43 seconds left on the clock, so we'll see what he goes with.
Oh, he made it.
Who did he go with?
It was Bijan.
Oh, he went Bijan. He went hook 'em horns. That's why he was throwing the horns up. Hook 'em horns, Bijan Robinson. Hacknado, you're on the clock for 2.
I got back-to-back picks here. I really like running backs, but I think at the 8th spot, I'm going to land on Cooper Kupp. I know his health is a question, but every time he's healthy, he's by game the number 1 receiver in fantasy football. They have nobody else, and Stafford targets him. I think this will be his last year of maybe being elite, but I'm going to ride that for this last year. And at 9, I'm looking for like Travis Kelce having a huge edge statistically on positions. I believe Patrick Mahomes has an edge on every other quarterback in the league. I preach this in my dynasty leagues. He's my quarterback in those. I sell out to acquire him. I just think he's the best fantasy player possible. He doesn't even plays hurt. The offense is tailored around him. Last year, he showed it doesn't matter who they have as their receivers. He's going to put up points. They only get better. So he's going to be my pick at 9, and I'm going to see how the rest of y'all go through the next couple rounds.
So real quick, Hackney, before you selected already, we'll talk about it during Wayne's pick. Taking the quarterback off the clock with an 18 quarterback league, but it is a 6-point quarterback league also. So the advantage of having that 6-point quarterback is huge, right? So Hackney is right now went out and got Cooper Kupp and Patrick Mahomes, who if both are healthy, they could be elite for this team. You're talking about a guy that broke the receiving record just 2 years ago and the best quarterback in the league. He went positional advantage, and he went with Mahomes and Cooper Kupp. I like it. Let's talk a little bit about Wayne's World's last pick. He went with Bijan Robinson. I'm not an Atlanta Falcons guy this year. I actually think the Atlanta Falcons are going to suck. I think Bijan will be the second best rookie running back this year behind somebody else who I'll take later in this draft, hopefully. But I also think that he also will be the third best rookie running back in this draft. I don't think he's going to be as good as a couple other running backs that are coming out from this rookie class. I think he's a little overhyped, and I think the Atlanta Falcons team is going to overall suck, if I'm being honest. But Wayne's World's second pick is on the clock. Let's see who he goes with. 17 seconds left, and we know what you're going with, brother.
He's doing a deep dive. Maybe he's looking for Tony.
I like the deep dive. Let's get a pick in, though. 2 seconds away from the auto pick. What's going on here, brother? Saquon Barkley is the pick. Saquon Barkley. I see it. All right, Saquon Barkley. You're going Bijan Saquon. You're getting dual threats. All right, Cottrell, you're back on the clock, my friend.
All right, so let's see. Where do we want to go here?
Shock Wayne didn't go with a Cowboy.
You need help, Control. I can help.
Yo, should I trade Montgomery and Judy for Mixon and Dotson? I'll let the chat handle that one. I would rather have Mixon and Dotson in that situation.
All right. Well, I mean, it would only be right if I got my resident Cleveland Brown here. We're gonna go with Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns. Now he's gonna be in the backfield all by himself. Should be more active in the pass game. And with these running backs, I'm a guy who thinks that running backs are very valuable. So I like Nick Chubb here. I think he's gonna catch more balls off the backfield and ultimately have a better year than the other guy who I was thinking in Derrick Henry. So I'll take Chubb as my second round pick.
Okay, a little Homer Simpson action. I like it. Anchor,
Like it,
you're back
bro.
on the clock.
Yeah, so I'm not honestly. I'll be honest with you. I'm not really loving this spot right now here. I mean, there's a lot of quality players, but there's nobody that's really jumping out at me from an 8-team second round pick. I mean, I feel like Derrick Henry here. I just worry about him getting up there and the mileage on him a little bit with the number of carries he's had over the last few years. He also was a little banged up last year. Devontae Adams here at 11. If I do go wide receiver, not just you can't trust the Raiders. So and Tony Pollard is definitely a potential pick. All based on potential here, never been proven on that. I think here I'm gonna probably just go with best available to be safe. I will go with Derrick Henry because of the track record, but I'm making this pick holding my nose because I am concerned about the mileage.
Okay, we got Derrick Henry sighting. I like it. Derrick Henry, the king, if he's healthy, he's definitely going to be an elite touchdown scorer. Let's move on to THEE. D Godfrey. What's up, brother?
Yeah, this pick really is a tough for me. I'm going Devontae Adams.
Little Tay.
Yeah, he's gonna eat no matter what. He's played with garbage before, and he's played with Aaron Rodgers, which is not garbage. I do remember times when he's been injured a few times. Aaron Rodgers, Adams was still able to perform. He performed with Derek Carr last year. I don't see him not getting the ball, so it's a risk I'm willing to take. So
Okay.
we will go Devontae Adams.
Little Tay action. I see you.
Let me just, if he shows up here in the goddamn rankings. There he is.
Just scroll to the top. Hammertown. What's going on? I think this is Jordan, right? Jordan, you're up, buddy. His audio's off. Maybe he's on mute. I don't know.
I think Derrick Henry is a good pick. I think that there's just some guys that no matter what it is, they surprise year after year. I don't feel the same way about Cooper Kupp, but he keeps doing it. But a guy like Derrick Henry, I'm all about. As a diehard Eagles fan, I hate to say that I think the Cowboys also look decent. And in that, I need a running back. And I do believe that Tony Pollard is like put up, shut up time. And it pains me to hit the draft button on a Cowboy. But taking this draft and needing a running back that I feel like is going to be borderline elite, that's who I'm going with.
Okay, so I'm super glad about that, brother. I think Cottrell knows exactly where I'm going here. RJ knows exactly where I'm going here. I feel super strong about this guy at the wide receiver position. Last year, he had 1,100 yards with a tomato can at quarterback. Dak Wilson was throwing the football. You were talking about a guy I was 100% wrong about coming out of Ohio State, and I'm easily to admit that. You're talking about Jettas 2.0. I'm going Garrett Wilson here. You give him the most accurate quarterback in all of football. The guy is going to eat. The catches that he's been making in training camp and practice, I love it. Nathaniel Hackett working back with Aaron Rodgers, and his number one target is as clear as day. You watched the way Devontae Adams ate with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers locks on to that number one guy, and he does it often. So for that reason and that reason alone, I'm going with the second-year sensation. I'm going with Jettas 2.0. I'm going with Garrett Wilson.
Hey, it's a good pick, buddy.
This is a good pick.
So, all right. With that being said, I knew that pick was coming. I knew I wasn't going to get him, but I don't think I'm upset with the guy I'm going to get here anyway. I value him a lot higher than probably most people do. But the guy has one of the best quarterbacks in the league throwing the ball. The guy also had 100+ receptions. He's a stud in the league. And I'm going to go ahead and go with, for my next pick, we're going to go with Stephon Diggs off the board there.
Diggsy.
right.
Diggsy, you were talking about if Josh Allen's healthy and everything goes well in Buffalo and Diggs reports to camp, Diggs is going to have an incredible year. I know he's there now, but I'm just saying that if he stays there, doesn't get injured, doesn't have issues with his quarterback, Diggs is going to be dominant this year.
Yep.
I already
Also,
know what your second pick is, though, bro. I know
Listen,
exactly where you're going.
And all my friends that I've worked with, I draft with, they know I value running backs very, very high in every draft. But, like, I just can't toss up this guy staring me in the face.
Yep.
So I'm going to go crazier. And
3 wide
once
receivers
again, I'm going to go ahead with Amon St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, Detroit Lions.
As my next pick.
That makes it super easy for me, guys. I was debating I'm like, is the value too good? I like Garrett Wilson. I'm not going to leave Garrett Wilson on the board, but this is definitely, I have this guy rated right next to St. Brown and ahead of Stephon Diggs. And yeah, I'm going to go back-to-back wide receivers here. Listen, as much as he's a Cowboy, I can't stand him. I still understand how good he is. And CeeDee Lamb is just too easy to pick here. I'm going CeeDee Lamb, and I'm not thinking twice about it. The guy's good. Dak Prescott's got one receiver to target. Brandon Cooks is just a deep threat. CeeDee Lamb is your number one. You're going to see him getting the A.J. Brown type targets. You're going to see him getting the DeAndre Hopkins type targets. You're going to see him getting Devontae Adams type targets. CeeDee Lamb is an elite receiver, and I can't say enough good things about him, even though he is a Cowboy. I'll take CeeDee Lamb here. Back to H-Town, Hammertown.
Oh man, your Garrett Wilson pick was good. I thought he'd be here.
No, he was mine anyway.
I am torn right now between that. Is it too early to reach? I know we're just drafting between some friends, but I got to tell you, I think that there is no reason to think that Jalen would not have just an insane year again. He's got all the weapons in the world. He has a pass-catching back now a little bit if they stay healthy. In Swift, training camp reports seem to think he's good. I'm a homer. He's probably my favorite player going right now. So for me at this point, I would probably reach and go Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. It's not a reach, brother. When you have an elite quarterback that scores the ball on the ground and he scores the ball throwing the football, Jalen Hurts is definitely not a reach there. Taking it back with D. Godfrey.
Well, listen, I heard Diggs is going to have a good season. So some people think. I do too. I'm going to go quarterback here. And Josh Allen likes to score with his legs. And now his touchdowns are worth 6 points. I'm going to take that right now. And
Josh Allen is the pick. Josh Allen's a huge pick there, guys. Normally number 1, number 2 fantasy quarterback because he does it with both ways. Back to Brett Anchor.
So I can't believe all you Eagles fans are sitting here and just left A.J. Brown on the board. I get the Jalen Hurts pick and the rush on quarterbacks. I'm not really sitting here like identifying a quarterback at this spot. There's only 8 teams here, and there are 8 quality quarterbacks, and I don't think the differentiation in points, even with the 6 from the 4, is gonna make that much of a difference in that. So I'm looking at best available here on wide receivers, especially with the number of flex positions we have. I will be honest, Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor really intrigued me, but Jacobs is, who knows if he's going to show up this year and pull Le'Veon Bell. And Jonathan Taylor, 2 years ago was, a number 1 overall pick, but who knows if he's going to play either. So I'm going to hold my nose and take an Eagle here with A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown, there we go. Talking about an elite wide receiver. Throw him up, and A.J. Brown will come down with him.
All right, so for me here, 3rd round, I think this pick is rather easy. You got a guy who was just mentioned in Jonathan Taylor, who is a a top 10 running back when he's playing. So there's no way that I see Jonathan Taylor missing out on this entire year, even if he doesn't play like that first week or things like, and he is a little bit slower. I just think the value that you're getting in a guy like Jonathan Taylor, who has the potential to be, a top 5 back when it's all said and done this upcoming year, fantasy wise. So got to go Jonathan Taylor here, and I'd be perfectly fine with taking that risk in the 3rd round.
Love it. Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
an all-world guy. Overall number 1 pick last year. I mean, everyone drafted him number 1 anywhere you went. You get him in the 3rd round. That's amazing value. So great stuff there, Cottrell. I understand completely where you're at. Wayne's World on the clock. Go ahead, Jordan.
Daddy says fade Jonathan Taylor this year.
Oh, I don't think you fade him, and I'll tell you why. And I'll talk through Wayne's pick. Shane Steichen is their head coach. And you're talking about Shane Steichen that ran the offense through Philadelphia behind an offensive line and running the football. I think that Jonathan Taylor is going to benefit from that same situation, being able to run the football. You remember when he took over play calling, who did Wayne go with? Wayne went with Chris Olave, Derek Carr's number 1 topic. That's a great pick there. Wayne
Love that kid.
Showing up heavy. Hackney, I'm going to give you the last minute and a half here because you have 2 picks back to back. But I want to finish my point on Jonathan Taylor. Shane Steichen is going to run the football, and he did that when he took over play calling for Sirianni. After everyone in Philadelphia was like, Sirianni's throwing the ball too much. He's throwing the ball too much. Well, guess what? Sirianni gave up play calling to Steichen, and they start running the football. Jonathan Taylor is going to be a benefactor of that. They also have the dual threat quarterback in Anthony Richardson. I think that they'll run the ball heavy over there in Indy.
He doesn't even want to be there.
Doesn't mean he's not going to play. He's playing for a contract.
Nobody does.
I don't want to be there with Jim Irsay either. Hackney, you're on the clock for 2. Take the first 30 seconds to explain your first, and then head right in your second, brother.
I love Jalen Waddle. I think he's going to have a huge year this year. Even if Tua goes down, he'll still be able to get his yards. That'll fill out my wide receiver room, and that makes it easy for me to start chasing after those running backs I love. It's just too good of a value. He also gives me insurance if Cooper Kupp goes down. I still have a number 1 receiver in my book. I'm going to go a little bit off the ranking order here for my running back 1. I think I'm taking the guy you love, Gene, because you said Bijan's not your number 1 rookie, and I'm looking at what I believe the number 1 rookie running back's going to be this year. Jahmyr Gibbs, if the reports from camp are correct, he doesn't leave the field when Montgomery's in the game. He's in the slot. He can catch the ball. He's explosive. With Jameson Williams out for the first 6 weeks, it leaves receptions open for him. Hawkinson's going to occupy the middle. Jay Jetta running them deep. That leaves a lot of open space for Jahmyr Gibbs to run off big runs like he did in college. So that's my RB1 and my pick.
Jahmyr Gibbs is an absolute animal. I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a great year this year. Wayno's on the clock. I like the pick of Jahmyr Gibbs. Listen, in the 18 league, you're not reaching, right? You're getting quality players, the players that you want to have there. I have Jahmyr Gibbs rated ahead of Bijan Robinson. I think he has a better year. Detroit has a great offensive line. So you look what Jamal Williams did behind that line last year. He rushed for 19 touchdowns. Let me just repeat that for you. Jamal Williams rushed for 19 touchdowns last year. They got fresh legs. You've seen the way that Detroit Lions locker room celebrated when they got Jahmyr Gibbs. So I have no issue with that pick.
I do love the Jahmyr Gibbs pick as well. I mean, I think with his ability to catch the ball out the backfield, you're going to see him have numbers similar to what Alvin Kamara had his first year with the Saints and things like that. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs can ultimately finish up as a top 5 back in fantasy this year. So getting that kind of guy in the 4th round, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Wayno is going with Lamar Jackson. Is that who's going with Lamar Jackson? Is that the pick?
No. Let's see.
Lamar Jackson, huge runner now with passing offense, will help OBJ and Andrews Bateman. Huge year. That's what he said. So let's see him make the pick.
See if he gets the actual pick in.
Waiting on the Lamar Jackson pick. He's waiting on the podium.
Not going to give it to him.
I think he's got it queued up. Oh, Josh Jacobs. That's what it went with. Dwayne, you got to make the pick, bro. That looks like it put you on auto or got you Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs was the pick, and that's the Lamar Jackson's still on the board. He's at home yelling at the TV. He got called from the general manager that he was being picked, and it went with Josh Jacobs. So it went with the Raiders running back Josh Jacobs, who I think is a terrible year, by the way. I just want to make that clear out loud.
I think it was great value, man.
At this point in the draft, you would think that I would start looking at some receivers here, but I just think value-wise, what you still have at running back, I still think I can get another top 10 running back, and that put me at 4, for my fantasy rankings. So with this being a double flex league as well, I can play all 4 of them at the same time. So I'm going to roll with Travis Etienne from the Jacksonville Jaguars here, another guy who can catch the ball out the backfield. He's going to be their bell cow as well. I think he can put up, solid RB1 numbers. So I like Travis Etienne from the Jaguars here in the 4th round.
I love Travis Etienne. That was
like
100% going to be my pick. So if he was still there, if he got through Anchor and Jordan, I was going with him.
Yeah, he would have gotten through me because I'm still thinking with this point PPR league and with the amount of talent that there is with running backs and wide receivers, that the wide receivers the smarter play here. And I'm going strictly off on this pick based on a single photo that was taken. Did anybody see the photo that Deebo Samuel sent his coach of his body? Dude is jacked up right now. Like, he looks.
I didn't realize we were going to be talking about dude's body on this.
Yeah, I didn't realize. It's 2023, Gene. Everybody can get excited.
I love you, Hank.
So that picture he sent to Miko Ryans, he looks like he's ready and in business. And if he's running the ball a little bit again this year, he's got a quarterback that is Brock Purdy that I think if he plays to the same level he did last year, I'm excited for Deebo's comeback this year, so I'm taking Deebo Samuel.
Deebo Samuel, it's a little bit of a reach in my opinion, but I don't think he's the number 1 wide receiver on his team this year. A little foreshadowing. I think the number 1 wide receiver on his team will get drafted much later. I think this is your first bad pick, but it's just my opinion. I guess we'll find out. D. Godfrey, you're on the clock. With Travis Etienne, it got through you.
Yeah, by a mile.
Okay.
So I'm not hot. He's not bad. I'm just, where we're at in the draft, I just think there's other options like Joe Mixon, who I'm about to pick right now.
Okay, he went with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is an interesting pick. It looked like Cincinnati was going to move on from him. They didn't want to pay him. He restructured his contract because he wanted to be there. That could be a good sign. That could be a bad sign. I guess we'll find out this year.
Consistent. I know people talk about Chris Evans, but I'm not buying that.
Okay.
Joe Mixon's been plugging away. They restructured. He saw the running back market, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to get any money anywhere else. Let me get in the camp." That was the smartest running back move of the offseason by running backs.
Well, Hammertown's on the clock. My man Jordan Schechter. How we doing?
Well, bro, in the for pictures for dudes who look good without a shirt on pictures is probably where I'm going for my next pick as well. Dude beast. I feel like I gotta believe in Geno Smith. I think he's gonna get some targets. I love his long balls. I like he's just long balls. I like all those.
Wow.
I love his long balls.
Wow.
Team with his shirt off.
Listen, just give me DK. He should have been an Eagle, and that's about it.
Well, DK Metcalf is the pick, which actually really excites me, right? Yeah, we look at the board right now, and why buy the milk when you can get the cow for free? And what I mean by that is, why buy the AJ Brown when I can get the Slim Reaper for free? I got Devontae Smith just sitting, falling into my lap. I think the guy has a better year than AJ Brown does this year. I think he's walking in the middle of his prime. And I think Devontae Smith, being the route running genius with incredible hands, is going to be great for Jalen Hurts. So Devontae Smith is going to be my pick. And I'm going to head over to RJ shortly. But at this pick, I have a couple options. But just Devontae Smith fell right into my lap. If Devontae Smith didn't fall into my lap, there's plenty of opportunity on the board. I might have went quarterback. Just saying. I'm going to take Devontae Smith and pass it up to my man, Big R.
All right. So, listen, I'm I love Devontae Smith pick. I just want to put that out there. I absolutely love Devontae Smith, but I'm already pretty good. I think I'm pretty much set. I already won the wide receivers.
You got
So
4 of them. I think you're good.
So I definitely need to go with a draft strategy here where I got to balance my team out. My first pick is going to go ahead and go with my guy here, Najee Harris. And the reason why I'm choosing Najee Harris is because I believe he's going to have a comeback year this year. I think their line's going to be a little bit better. I also think he's going to be a true workhorse, and I feel like he's going to be in the top 10 rankings for running backs this season. So with that being said, I'm taking Najee Harris as my running back one.
Well, let me tell you why you're right there before you picked it already.
Sorry.
Let me tell you why you're right. You talking about a guy last year that had a foot injury, a Liz Frank injury that a lot of people didn't know about. He had a great rookie year, and then he was injured last year. So people just think that Najee Harris fell off. He's still a great running back. Guy's completely healthy this year, and I love that pick. He was definitely my pick if Devontae Smith wasn't there.
And they bolstered up their offensive line, adding in Broderick Jones in the first round. So Pittsburgh's gonna have a monster offensive line this year as well.
Big facts, brother.
All right. So what I'm going with my next pick, I know this might be a little bit of reach to some, and they might feel like it's a reach, but I just feel like this guy's an absolute stud, and I think he's going to be ready by week 1. So I'm going to go ahead and take Joe Burrows as my quarterback.
Joe Burrow. That's a wild pick. I didn't think you were going there, brother. I think that Joe Burrow is a great pick. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that pick at all. Honestly, you think I would go running back, but just sitting with CMC and a couple wide receivers, and I'm not going running back here. I'll wait on the back end. I think this is the RB dead zone of the draft. I think there's a lot of running backs here that I just don't like their value at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to a position of need, and I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. You guys looked at it earlier, 6-point quarterback league, 6-point rushing touchdown. You want to talk about a guy that added first-round wide receiver in Zay Jones. Or not Zay Jones, sorry, Zay Flowers. You added Odell Beckham Jr. Guy's got massive upside. They have Rashad Bateman. They even added Stonehands Aguilar to the wide receiver room. I'm kidding. They still have Mark Andrews, and his rushing upside's huge. What they're saying with Todd Monken is they're going to spread the offense out and create space. I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a lot of 300-yard passing games with 100 yards rushing. So I'll go with Lamar Jackson here, and that'll be an easy pick for me.
It was between those two for me too.
Always love a good WR2. I feel like Ja'Marr Chase can't catch every ball. Joe Burrows is the man. The team's loaded, and I feel like I need a wide receiver here that I believe in. And for that reason, I will be taking T. Higgins.
T. Higgins, look at that. The fun part about T. Higgins, and Godfrey's on the clock, the fun part about T. Higgins is he's listed as a wide receiver 13 when he's never finished wide receiver 13 or higher. This could be the year, though. This is a contract year for him. So I expect T. Higgins to either break out now or break out never.
Well, speaking of breakouts, some people might think this is a reach, but I don't care. I'm going to get my guy, and I'm drafting Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams, that is who I was hoping to get on the whole way back.
Yeah, I felt that
around
energy
later.
coming.
Sounds
That's why I
like-
had to take him now.
It sounded like it got taken out of somebody's queue. I heard the little ding.
He was
going
on
out.
mine. I ain't gonna lie.
Mine.
But I would have took him around later where he should have went.
That's all right. Hey, listen, if you like him, you draft him, right? There's no point in waiting.
No guarantees that they're coming
Exactly.
He wasn't
I'm-
coming back.
See, Hackney's ready for him. So everybody was ready for Javonte Williams. It's on you, Team Anchor.
So the $50 million man in Baltimore is, I believe, his favorite target over the years has been Mark Andrews. You saw Mark Andrews' production just go absolutely tank without Lamar Jackson. So I think it's a pretty symbiotic relationship that those two have. And again, tight ends are at a premium in this league. If I have one more league where I have Dalton Schultz as my number one tight end, I'm gonna jump off a bridge. So I'm going with Mark Andrews here and expecting the $50 million man to put up those 300-yard games and hitting his tight end quite a bit.
I like it, Mark Andrews.
That is a great pick because I promise you Mark Andrews was about to be the pick here. But that's perfectly fine because we got a backup plan in place. We got four running backs already, and we need a wide receiver one, and that guy for me is going to be the man out in Jacksonville, and that's Calvin Ridley. I think he has a chance to step up and go be that true wide receiver one. We saw what Christian Kirk's numbers looked like last year, his first year in that system with Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. And I think Calvin really just has a ton of skill. And, he got a year off last year. Obviously that wasn't an ideal situation for him, but he's going to come in this year with fresh legs. He's already killing it in camp. He looks very explosive, hasn't lost a step at all. I love Calvin Ridley here.
Yeah.
If you guys can take a second and while Wayne's picking right now, please take a second to share this post to your Facebook, share the stream to your Facebook so everybody on your can comment on your picks. So take a second now while Wayne's pick. Oh, Wayne already picked. Who do you want? Who to go?
Wayne picked Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. He went just incredible. He did not wait. Hackney, you're on for 2, but if everybody can take the time to share this to their own Facebook feed so we can get more people in here commenting. Hackney's on the clock. On to you, Big Hack.
All right. Well, I need a running back. I'm really glad this running back fell to me. I think Aaron Jones is going to have a huge year. They're going to lean on their running backs with Jordan Love being the quarterback out there in Green Bay. I'm really happy I got him in this round. That's going to fill out my running back room, and that's what I needed to do. And
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
I mean, listen, you can also go with the number 1 running back in that locker room too.
Come on, now you're being disrespectful.
Do you think Calvin Ridley's betting on himself? I wanted to say that earlier.
He's betting on himself. That's what the contract is.
Okay, cool. Just curious.
I think he purposely bet on Atlanta Falcons to get suspended. Honestly.
I at this pick agree with Brett a lot. I need a tight end. They fall fast after you get through maybe the top 4 or 5. So I'm going to take Hawkinson. I think Minnesota is going to feature him heavily in their passing attack. I think he's going to take Adam Thielen's target. So I'll be happy with Hawkinson. And with that pick, all I got to do is fill out flexes. That's easy. Best availables after this.
TJ Hawkinson, that's the pick. Huge pick right there. I think TJ Hawkinson is a great pick at the tight end room. I was kind of hoping he fell back to me. I was going to take him or Andrews. Neither one are there. So looks like I'll be trying a new draft strategy. Wayne's World is on the clock. He didn't take his time last time. He's not getting auto-picked again. He had Josh Jacobs, and he wanted Lamar Jackson. I got to get him luckily. But he came back with Justin Fields. He's pointing at his hat. Does that mean it's a Cowboy?
Dak.
Oh, he went with Dak to the future? No, he didn't. No.
No, not yet.
Wait, is that guy even on the draft list?
I got to see who Wayne's World goes with next. Darren Waller. Uh-oh, he took a tight end from a quitter. I look at Darren Waller as the biggest quitter in the league. Whatever, it is what it is. Control, you're on the clock. I hate Darren Waller.
Yeah, I'm a lot of people probably are going to think this is a reach pick, especially for where we're at. If you look at his ADP, it's not higher, but I got a guy who I think can still be who will be a number 1 receiver this year and really have a breakout year. You saw the breakout year that Jalen Hurts had when he finally got a number 1 option in AJ Brown. And I think you're going to see the breakout year from Justin Fields this year because Chicago went out and got him a number 1 option in DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore is going to be in Chicago. He's going to have a ton of targets, and he's going to be Justin Fields' favorite target out there. So getting DJ Moore here, I don't know if he's going to be there on the way back, so got to get him while I can.
I love it. DJ Moore's going to have a great year. I think Justin Fields takes the Jalen leap this year. I'm big on that. Anchors away, my boy. Anchors away.
All right. I'm sitting here with 1 running back right now. My wide receiver depth is really good. Not loving who is here, as you were saying earlier, on the value per pick. That being said, I think I'm going to go with a guy who I think has potential. I don't think Houston's going to be as bad offensively as maybe they have in the past. Now they have the rookie the rookie quarterback. They're going to rely on some, at least trying to establish some run with him, I think. And so I'm going to go with Dameon Pierce here at 46. He's projected for 202 points. I think if he finds the end zone a little more frequently, he'll get up there. So that's kind of where my head is at.
Okay. Dameon Pierce is the pick. D. Godfrey, you're on the clock, my friend.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about Dameon, but a guy that I think is going to get ignored that has huge potential, especially with gaining more rapport with his quarterback from last year, is Amari Cooper. I'm going to be going with him. I don't think you go wrong with that guy coming off your bench or going into your flex.
Amari Cooper, the pooper scooper. Nah, Cooper's a good pick here.
Great.
Hammer it down.
He ended the year pretty well. I'm expecting to see a big jump this year out of Denver. It either happens or it doesn't happen with Russ and everybody over there and Sean Payton. So I'm gonna go for Judy right now and hope for a big year out of him. I don't really see between him and the running back. I don't see they're the two best players over there.
Well, it makes my decision super easy, guys. I need a running back, and I feel like this guy is definitely fell from his ADP at 34. But for you to sit here at 47 and have a guy that is going to be the number one running back in an offense that's going to run the football time and time and time again. The New England Patriots, go back to 2012, right? Look at what the Patriots did with Aaron Hernandez and Robert Gronkowski. Bill Belichick has a model: big people beat up little people. And he has a 2 tight end set, adding Mike Gesicki and Hunter Henry. They have a big offensive line. They invested 2 first-round picks in the last 3 years. And they have a running back that's going to be their number one running back, Ramondre Stevenson. I'm going to go Ramondre here. Is lots being talked about with Ezekiel Elliott. But remember, Ezekiel Elliott was brought in on a 1-year contract. He was brought in as the running back to spell Ramondre Stevenson at times. So I'll take Ramondre Stevenson with my pick here.
That was a quick, easy pick, Gene. That was self-explanatory, man. I could have, if he fell to me there, I thought it was a steal in the draft. Nobody's worried about Ezekiel Elliott. Like, the guy's walking around at my weight right now. So, I mean, come on, let's be serious. Ain't nobody worried about that guy. The wear and tear's done. Sorry, Dallas Cowboy fan. Sorry. So that was a great pick. With that being said, I definitely need a running back. Looking at this list, there's some guys I really, really like, but I don't know if I want to take the risk, especially since I only have one running back at this time. So with that being said, I'm probably going to go on a little bit down on this list for a running back first. And I'm going to go ahead and go with it's tough. It's a tough one here. I like 2 guys here.
We have 2 picks.
I know. I don't want to do it back to back. So what I'm going to do is my first pick, I'm going to go ahead and take the workhorse over in Arizona, the running back, James Conner.
That's a good pick.
Okay.
True workhorse. No Kyler Murray stealing his goal line touches for touchdowns. So for the least 8 weeks, so I'm liking that pick there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go ahead and try to balance out my team a little bit more by taking one of my favorite players in the league. That's not an Eagle. George Kittle at tight end.
Kittles and bits.
Okay, RJ.
It's not a big deal. I came to win.
So at this pick, I don't know if I should go value. I'm kind of stuck, right? I don't like I feel like it's a dead zone. I'm going to go with my gut and go with something that might not be at the top of the board, but is going to be something I think this guy has a huge year this year. A lot of talk on the team about the other wide receiver on that team, and I think he's great, but I think that possession receiver on that team, it's going to generate the most points. Might be a little bit down on your list, but that's okay. I'm going with number 57 on your list, but number 1 in your hearts, Deontay Johnson.
That's a good pick.
H-Town down.
a good pick. Dalvin Cook left. I think he's on a pretty high-scoring offense. Jefferson can't catch every ball. I'm liking Alexander Madison. Feel like he's no contest, their number one guy there, and that's me.
Okay, that's Alexander Madison got a bell cow running back with no backup. I guess can't complain about that one, right?
Except week 4 when he's out for the season.
Be Godfrey, you're on the clock, my friend. THEE.
Well, you know, I'm an Eagles fan, and I wanted to get an Eagle on the team, and I think he's gonna have a good year as long as he stays healthy. I'm gonna go Dallas Goedert.
Oh wow, the tight end run is here and it's real, and I am screwed because I do not have a tight end. So it looks like Dalton Schultz for me in the 14th.
Aquanano is available too.
Aquanato. I like Aquanato. Anchors away, my boy.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz. We can start a support group for Dalton Schultz tight end ones. But so I think I gotta go quarterback here. I think he had a little bit of what I would consider a surprising. It wasn't necessarily a step back for Justin Herbert, but I expected more from him last year. I think he's got a new weapon in Quentin Johnson. I think he's got something to prove this year, and I really think he's going to have a breakout year. He's not going to put up, 1-2 numbers, but I think he's going to be closer to the 400-point range than the 357 that's projected. So I'm going to go Justin Herbert here.
I love that pick. Justin Herbert is an absolute stud. He's got 3 wide receivers over there that can catch the football. He's got a good offensive line, and his running back catches the ball well. College Cottrell.
All right, so for me here, I was debating on if I wanted to do it or not. I'm going to do it. I know, I have a plethora of running backs. I'm taking another one here. We got 3 flexes in this league, so I will be able to play them all. And, this is a guy who won't be playing the first few weeks of the season. But I think when he comes back, he's only missing the first 3 weeks. And when he comes back, he definitely has, running back 1 upside because he catches so many balls out of the backfield. So I think I'll be able to manage those first 3 weeks of the season without him. So I'm rolling with Alvin Kamara in the 7th round.
Oh.
You can't, I love when you hear that means somebody had them in queue. I love that. That's my favorite part.
I'm gonna put Kendre Miller in queue now.
All right. Well, next on the clock is Wayne's World. He's got 1 pick here and then Hackney for 2. Cottrell, if you can do me a favor and take over next 2 minutes, I'll be right back.
Gotcha. So, it's really just only thing we got to worry about is when Wayne comes back up.
He's a Cowboys fan. We really don't have to worry about him.
All right. What's the thought process here?
I'm looking at this point of the draft for people I think that can win. So I'm gonna take what I think could be a running back 1. Last year he had the same hype as Bijan. I'm gonna take Breece Hall.
It's a great pick.
Took him off somebody's board.
Let me ask you guys something, because the next couple of picks are just guys I'm taking. What do you guys think about the bye weeks? Do you look at that when you're drafting your team, or do you just draft the players
I'll figure it out
and figure it out as they go through?
I'll figure it out. If I got everybody on the same bye week, if it's just a built-in L, then that's what it is. But I take my guys because at the end of the day, they're all going to be ready come playoff time. So
yeah, I'm not worried about bye weeks.
I'm gonna take a boring pick. I really don't want to take this guy, but if he stays healthy, 1 point PPR, Keenan Allen, and pray for health. I think Herbert's going to have a better year this year.
It's a select few players that irritate my soul, and he's one of them.
That bye week question, I think that really actually it does matter.
Yeah, you look at
high stakes league.
Looking at that for your
yeah, if you're in a high stakes league and the money is impacted by your weekly performance that you can win, then it's something you want to do. Like if you're in an NFPC or NFFPC situation, for example, you have a budget where you can spend on these free agent players. So you're gonna have to forecast that out because it gets really thin, especially if your budget starts to go down when the season's over.
That's a good point.
Waynesboro went nuke. Look at that. DeAndre Hopkins off the clock. Bench, don't kill me now.
Let's see here. Still staying away from tight end because value's just not there in my opinion yet. But I'm gonna go with the guy who's had 1,000 yards every single year of his career so far. I get it. He has probably the worst quarterback situation out of everybody in the entire league, but Mike Evans is a stud. And I think if you have a quarterback that's struggling, if I had to make a game plan, I'd say, hey, I'm going to try to throw the ball to the best players on the team. And the best guy on that team is Mike Evans. So I think Mike Evans is a guy who has at least 1,000 yards this year. And if I can get him in the 8th round, I'm very happy with that.
One of the most automatic 1,000 yards in the league every year is Mike Evans.
And then he
Like
gets
clockwork.
5 touchdowns in one game, and then he doesn't score 5 touchdowns for the next 5.
Anchors away, my boy.
Yeah, so I'm questioning too. I wonder if there's just a bunch of hatred from the Eagles fans here, but or animosity. But Miles Sanders, I'm looking at his numbers, and I didn't realize how good he's been over the last 5 years. He's been pretty much five yards per carry. He had over 1,000 yards multiple times, and I'm just very skeptical. I'm not thinking about I'm missing something here because I know he's moving to a team with a far inferior offensive line, but he's got a rookie quarterback. I feel like he's going to carry the ball. We know he doesn't catch the ball, so that's my one concern about him, but I'm going to take a risk here and go with Miles Sanders on a new team.
Before you click the button, Hank, let me like the last 20 seconds where I can describe this.
Yeah.
He's going to a Frank Wright system where they like to run the football. He's also in an offense that's going to feature him with really only no backup running back in Chuba Hubbard. You're talking about a previous 5th round pick. I don't hate that pick at all. Getting a bell cow here in the 8th round, that's never a mistake.
Appreciate your solid support there, Gene.
Absolutely. Double E.
Hey, I think it's a value here. I know there's some questions, but Kenneth Walker, I'm going with it.
Oh, you bum.
I felt the energy coming from the draft room, and I'm gonna zap it right the fuck out. Bink.
Oh, you bum. I hate that you did that. He's queued up on me.
I live to make the Q alarms go off.
100% was going to be my pick. H-Town down, Hammertown.
I am thinking this team is going to be terrible. The Bucs are going to be bad. I can imagine them putting it together. I agree with you on Evans being the best player on the team. Just looking at what I want, flex players, I feel like I would take Rachaad White. I feel like he's going to get a ton of carries, maybe some Baker Mayfield checkdowns. I have no idea. But I like dudes who are no contest RB1s on, even if they are on a terrible team.
Have you seen him with his shirt off?
All right, so this pick's pretty easy for me, guys. I was down to 2 players, and it was one of them was Kenneth Walker, who I was very high on, and the other one is a guy that I don't understand why he's so undervalued. Yeah, he had a really rough start to his rookie year last year, but if we're being honest with ourselves, this guy was a touchdown machine, and the limited time that he got in with Jordan Love, Christian Watson was unguardable. You realize why he got drafted where he got drafted, because he's elite talent, elite speed, and Jordan Love's going to have to throw the ball to someone, and I think that person is going to be Christian Watson. I think Christian Watson has an incredible year. Could have a top 10, top 15 fantasy year.
It's a good pick, kid. I like it. I mean, that's like 3 times in a row where you took the player 1 pick ahead of me. Thanks, Gino. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
So I'm going to go with my next pick here. Now, this kid is he was definitely garbage pretty much most of the season last year. But if you checked his record towards the end of the season, like from week 14 on to week 18, he was double digits every week pretty much. And I know the team isn't that good of a team, but I do think this kid is an actual good running back, and I do think he's going to actually put up some points this year. I'm going to go ahead and go with Cam Akers for my third pick. Sorry, third running back. I'm going to go with, I forgot. I'm starting to feel like Cottrell here. And then
If you felt like me, you'd have been prepared.
Oh no, we got this, dude. I already dominated you. It's already over, dude. I don't know if you looked at my team yet, but maybe you should take a little peek. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and go with. I really wanted Watson there. I ain't gonna lie. Watson was my guy. But with that being said, this guy always eats. He's always good with points. He's always pretty solid. He's fast. I know the quarterback situation's not that great, but overall, this kid eats every year. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. I'm going to go ahead and go with Chris Godwin.
Well, I have two guys I want and one slot to fill on the team. So I'm not filling the other slot, but I think the value is just not there yet. But I have two guys for this pick, and I'm kind of really hammering between the both of them. I'm sure I won't get the second one if I take the first. The question I have to ask myself is, what player is going to have a bigger role in their high dynamic offense? I could scroll down the draft board a little bit, maybe hope to get this guy on the way back, or I could take the guy that's sitting right in front of me that people are projecting to have a good season that I just don't know. I don't have that much faith in. I'm gonna go with the guy that I think is gonna have the better overall season, and I'm gonna leave the guy sitting there that's near the top. Give me Isaiah Pacheco from the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that he runs hard, he catches the ball out of the backfield, and he's young. And I think he's the lead back over in Kansas City, and it's a very high scoring team.
He hits it, he hits it hard, man. When he gets that ball in his hand, he's right going. He's fast too. Kid's a good player.
I thought you were making fun of me at the first line. He hits it hard, man. I'm like,
nah, I was just adding his little things in here and there.
Hammer time, what we thinking?
I don't like my team. My team's not very good, guys. I'll be the first one to look at my roster right now.
Yeah.
Very disappointing considering we only have 8 of us. But I hate taking players like this, but here I am. I feel like he's the best wide receiver on the possible team, right? And like he never really does anything but drafts him. But like I'm looking at right here, I think to take him scared.
are you scared to take Scary Terry?
Well, just
Scare money don't make none.
I know.
Scary Terry McLaurin. Kidding. V. Godfrey. Take it deep.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at Scary Terry. Got stolen right in front of my nose.
That's how it works in these 18 leagues, bro. There's so much talent.
That's crazy. So I'm gonna go for a guy I think with massive breakout potential. Then I don't think I'll get on the way back, and I'm gonna go George Pickens of the Steelers.
Oh, you're so ugly. Oh my God. When team took Deontay Johnson, I was like, man, George Pickens is the guy there, dude. I'm like, I think Pickens outshines him this year.
It's fair. I think Pickens is the big play guy. I think Deontay Johnson's the volume guy. Everybody's got an opinion, though. Most of them stink.
All right. For me here, I'm looking at value, and one guy jumps out at me as very intriguing based on the year he had last year in a new setting. Trevor Lawrence is a gunslinger. He's gonna throw the ball quite a bit. And Christian Kirk had 84 catches for them last year and like 9 touchdowns. With Calvin Ridley on the other side, drawing away some of that coverage, I think he has the opportunity to repeat those numbers. Just looking at all the other wide receivers that are around, and none of them are jumping out at me. I was thinking about Mike Williams for a connection with Justin Herbert, but if he misses another game this season, the odds of that happening are like 90%. So I'm going to go with Christian Kirk here at at
Christian
another
Kirk. Cottrell is on the clock.
Well, I appreciate you giving that breakdown because I have no worries taking Mike Williams at this point in the draft. Round 9, you already know he has that connection with Justin Herbert. And, you do mention injury history. And, yes, that is a bit concerning. But when he's out there, he's an absolute monster. Justin Herbert's not afraid to just throw the ball down there to him, especially if he sees single high coverage. So I think Mike Williams should have a phenomenal year this year, especially considering that, I expect Keenan Allen to take a step back even further. So I think Mike Williams will insert himself as the true number 1 receiver on that team.
I
You
think
seen how long Keenan Allen dropped? He fell long, well past his ADP. That's because these guys know what they're doing here. The 8 guys we assembled are like the Avengers. I don't know who's who, but we got the Avengers in the damn chat. Outside Jordan. Jordan's like Black Widow.
Yeah,
Not doing very well.
I'm Thanos out here.
Wayne just took the best receiver in the 2023 draft class in Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Okay. We're taking number 3 receivers on teams now. I see it.
Yeah, that was a little early, but
hey, if that's who he wanted, that's who he gets. I get it. Understood. Jackson Smith and Jigba has already had a great. You're shaking your head. Is that a good shake, a bad shake? I don't know what to tell you. I wish he had volume. I really want to hear Wayne's opinions.
I think he was saying he's number 2. He's going to be number 2 receiver.
He's not. Lockett and DK are 1 and 2.
Oh, I mean, I understand that, but I'm saying that I think that's what he was getting at. Yeah, he's shaking his head.
Okay. Well, Hacknado, you're on the clock for 2, my friend.
I'm going to go get a receiver that doesn't really have much competition for targets. They're going to be down a lot in Arizona. Have no choice.
Compton, Long Beach, Hollywood.
So Hollywood it is.
I like it.
Now we're to the point that I'm filling out my bench. So I'm looking for somebody that could become a starter. At this point, we're in an 8-team league. Everybody has impressive starting lineups. The guy I'm looking at, he averages over 5 yards a carry when he's healthy. It's just health has not been J.K. Dobbins' friend. I'm going to hope this year, again, him and Breece Hall, I got a lot of hopes on health that probably I'm going to regret around week 5. But
yeah, it's over.
J.K. Dobbins it is.
Hey, dude, you got to take a shot. The guy stays healthy. He's going to be a workhorse over there. They're trying to keep Lamar Jackson healthy.
J.K. Dobbins. All right, Wayne's World's back on the clock. He's very upset with me talking about his pick. I apologize, Wayne. He messaged me privately and told me he's the greatest guy in the world. He also said top NCAA guy, local kid. He will be the number 2 in Seattle.
Oh yeah, he is. He is indeed a local kid from Texas.
And he will.
Alan said, "I don't think it's a risk at all." As Eagles fans, I believe Sanders is going to be great on Carolina, who's known to run heavy
and fumble the ball.
Wayne's World, totally awesome.
I think one of the things with Sanders that gets discounted, he's been running behind
Drake London Bridges with the terrible quarterback.
Sheesh, Gene, just cut my man Hack off. He's about to give you spit.
Yeah, Hack, give me some knowledge.
The thing with Sanders, the hatred coming from Eagles fans is he's going to Carolina. Look at that line compared to the lines he ran behind in Philadelphia. Like, there's a reason why if DeAndre Swift stays healthy, the projections are so high. We're making running backs in Philadelphia.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100% there, Hackney.
That was my concern with drafting him.
Don't fail me now.
Sanders has hands of stone. We've seen it as Eagles fans. We talk about it all the time on Birds Deep. Sanders is a good running back, but, systems are going to matter for him. And I think he'll get yards, but he just seems to always be injured too at the most inopportune time, and just never really took reign of the running back job the whole time he's at Philly.
Completely agree.
Well, I'm on the clock here. I'll keep mine very simple. Don't have a quarterback yet. I think Aaron Rodgers going to a system with Garrett Wilson and being reunited with Nathaniel Hackett is going to be a match made in heaven. I think he throws the ball all over the yard, and getting a guy like Aaron Rodgers this late in the draft is pretty easy for me. So I'll take Aaron Rodgers and be very happy with rolling him out there as QB1 all season.
QB1. Big Ank, what's up, brother? Brett Anchor on the clock.
All right, so there's I'm looking at my depth right now, and I'm sitting at 4 wide receivers or 4 wide receivers, a solid tight end. I've got 3 running backs, so I'm looking to add depth to my backfield. Looking at Jordan Cook as well as David Montgomery here. Like, both of them have their upside and downside. Obviously, Dave Montgomery is going to probably be second fiddle to Jahmyr Gibbs, but from a standpoint of Detroit and their history and Jamal Williams scoring 19 touchdowns and David Montgomery potentially being a big goal line back, he's going to be boom or bust with touchdowns here, but I think I'm going to go with David Montgomery over Jordan Cook, who Josh Allen has about 8 different targets and folks, and a combined split with Damian Harris there makes him just as risky. So I'm going with David Montgomery here, hoping he piles on the touchdowns in Detroit.
I will say this: you're not allowed to draft someone if you don't know their name. Is James Cook, Brett?
He's off the board.
Bro. Yeah. What did I say, Jordan?
Yeah.
My bad.
You probably looked at Jordan's draft and got upset. That's probably what you did.
Taking it deep with the Godfrey. Show us how this draft is done.
Who was just drafted? I got confused because of the name.
David Montgomery.
Oh, David Montgomery. Okay, cool.
Michael Jordan.
Oh man, it's my favorite. It's the best best player of all time.
Did he just crack?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Crooked crack player.
Crack player. No, he's all right. So we're gonna go with James Cook. We're gonna take a dice to see how he plays out. Roll the dice to see how he plays out in this Buffalo Bills offense.
Okay. That was the guy I was between the last draft. The last pick, I was between James Cook and Isaiah Pacheco. So if that to let you know anything.
Can't go wrong with Pacheco.
Hammertown, H-Town down.
Well, this guy never seems to stay healthy, but I am excited and I am a homer. Everything that I have seen or read about practice and training camp says that he's pretty much the RB1. Who knows how it'll end up being, hurt or not. But I'm excited for number 0. First year here. Give me DeAndre Swift.
I love it. That was my pick. It's about time you made a good pick.
This pick's kind of easy for me, guys. I didn't want to. I waited on the value because I didn't think it was there last time. I don't like his quarterback at all. But when you have a top 5 talent at the position and he's just sitting there right in front of your lap, just dropping. You're talking about a guy who was a number 4 pick in the draft just a few years ago. I'm going Kyle Pitts, and I don't know how I can't do that. I don't have a tight end yet, so instead of getting Dalton Schultz, I'll go with Kyle Pitts.
Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do with this pick here is it's not really one of my favorites because I like the other running back better over here. However, the guy is a true workhorse. The guy has put up numbers his whole entire career. He's been a top 5 running back. We could argue he might even been in the number 1 running back in the last 3-4 years if you take the overall work. And with this guy sitting here at this point, I just feel like I got to take a shot at him. And I'm going to go ahead and go with Dalvin Cook for that pick.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. Dalvin Cook. Means you are back on the clock again, sir.
So with the next pick, all right, I'm looking at this list. There's some value here. I like a few people. I feel like this guy is usually in the top 20 talk every year. And I know some people may have reached for a rookie wide receiver on his team, but I won't say it out loud. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Mr. Consistency himself and Tyler Lockett.
Once again, another easy pick from you guys. You guys are making it too simple for me to dominate this draft. I have a running back that's going to get bell cow work in an offense that they rejuvenate their offensive line. They drafted the best tackle in the entire league. The entire draft, this guy's going to be an all-pro guy already. I like what Chicago is doing as a whole, and I'm going to take Khalil Herbert here. I don't know how he's still there for me. Bell cow back. He has 2 journeymen in the backfield behind him with Deontay Foreman. No one's going to take any work away from the guy, and he's running back depth I can use to start on bye weeks. My team's too dominant right now. I'm just taking guys that just to fill in for places when I have buys.
It's a solid pick, Gene.
Thank you, sir.
I do feel like the rookie they drafted is pretty solid, though. But I agree. That's a
You talking about the Bears rookie?
Roschon Johnson or whatever his name is, dude.
I know Roschon Johnson. Roschon Johnson's listed as third on that depth chart. I don't think he was going to see much.
He's going to be the guy. You heard it here first, bro.
All right, you're talking about a backup running back behind Bijan Robinson. I'm not worried about this dude.
You heard it here first.
All right.
All right.
Well, Town's up.
I know.
Tell me too much about my pick. He's struggling with his.
Well, you took my last pick. All right. I'm down to give him a flyer. Other than Travis Kelce, there's only so many dudes to catch the ball. Maybe a little early, but give me Sky Moore.
Sky Moore, last year's early draft pick for the Chiefs. Could he be the guy this year that takes the big leap forward? Sky Moore.
Can we just change his name to Reach City, please?
I'll change it. I'll change it for you.
D. Godfrey, you're on the clock, brother.
All right. With Sky Moore, I will up the ante and take Kadarius Toney and gamble that he may be healthy for 5 games this year, and hopefully I start him. Kadarius Toney. I mean, he's got the talent. Can he stay healthy? Some people call him the modern day Percy Harvin. We'll see.
Gene loves Percy Harvin.
Oh, bro, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Percy Harvin, let me tell you a quick story. Anchor's up. Anchor can give his pick in a second. But I had a game where I was down 4 points, and Percy Harvin scored 3 touchdowns on Monday Night Football, and all 3 of them got called back due to penalty. And I lost the game. I'll never forget it. It was the Washington Redskins, and he scored 3 touchdowns on Monday Night Football, and all 3 of them got called back.
We were there to witness it too. It was amazing seeing his downfall.
Speaking of Washington Redskins, or I guess Washington Commanders now, I am going to roll the dice here. I think, we saw Antonio. No, I'm talking running back.
Oh.
So I'm looking at the 2 Washington running backs coincidentally sitting side by side here, but Antonio Gibson's numbers were starting to go down last year. It seems like he's fallen a little bit out of favor. Brian Robinson had a pretty good numbers. I did trade Brian Robinson, for Brian Robinson in my dynasty league, thinking that he has a possible breakout potential. I do worry that, Sam Howell's their quarterback. Did I get his first name right?
Yep.
Okay. Sam Howell is their quarterback, so they might pack the box. But at this point, I'm looking for some running back depth, and I feel like he has some real good upside potential.
Who shocked y'all?
I like it.
Well, we're talking about running backs, and I think I'm getting a guy who's going to be the RB1 on his team, and that's a guy in AJ Dillon.
Nice.
I think this is the year that he's going to really take over that backfield, and a guy like AJ Dillon, I think towards the back half of the season, once he is getting those true running back 1 carries, I think he could be a guy that will be a very playable option, even beyond just, bye weeks and filling games. So I love AJ Dillon here getting this volume in the 11th round.
No, it's great value, dude. That was a hand-me pick.
And there was the beep that come off someone's board. Wayne's World's up. We got a couple picks to go. We're into 11th round, headed into the 12th. Moving smoothly. Cottrell's talk about a 3-hour draft is looking more and more foolish as we go on. We're an hour and 15 minutes in and 67% complete.
Slightly over half, an hour and a half in.
It's an hour and 15 minutes in, and it's well over half.
We started at 12:03.
We started at 12:15. That's when the draft started, my friend.
Oh, but we've been live for whatever you say, Gene. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Who did Waynesboro went with? Jordan Addison, another
Jordan
rookie wide
Addison, reaching
receiver.
on another rookie.
Someone
Thank you
needs to
for taking
explain
it.
this, man. This is not a dynasty league.
Thank you for taking him. I didn't want to have both wide receivers on that team. Thank
I
you.
like Addison, though. I think Addison's the best receiver to come out of this draft.
I think Addison struggles out the gate.
I'm getting a wide receiver one for his team here. Another one. I'm taking Pittman Jr. He's put up numbers with, I think, 2 worst quarterbacks the last 2 years. I think Richardson's an upgrade for him. So
Not throwing the ball.
it's Matt Ryan last year. Real.
My
Probably not upgrade throwing the ball. Anthony Richardson cannot throw the ball at all. I think you throw the ball better than Anthony Richardson.
No way, dude.
That's a low
No
bar
way.
hurdle.
I watched you in the outfield, bro. Your arm might not be as strong, but it's
That's what I said. That's a low bar.
Anthony Richardson can throw the ball. It's just his accuracy is in question.
Yeah, you missed that touchdown, Pierce drop. You got to focus on the positives.
I love you, Hack.
and don't worry, the
I'm gonna
Colts.
take a running back. I know Kamara's coming back in 3 weeks, but Jamal Williams had a good year last year. I see him vulturing a lot like he did for the Lions. It might be touchdown dependent, but we've seen guys like the Eagles guy, big dude at the end. LeGarrette Blount make a career in fantasy off of being able to rush them 2-yard touchdown rushes. So Jamal Williams it is.
Jamal Williams is a great pick, bro. After 3 weeks, you could just trade him off to somebody. People will overvalue him, thinking he's going to be the every down back in New Orleans. They're running on carpet. He's a strong running back. He's a good leader in the locker room. I love everything about Jamal Williams. I don't know how Detroit let him go. I would have kept him there and had him back up and not signed David Montgomery, if I'm being completely honest with you.
I wanted Jamal Williams as my handcuff just in case, for whatever reason. If Jamal Williams has a strong first 3 games of the season and he is getting some RB1 work, I definitely wanted the handcuff. So I do love that pick there.
Well, Wayne's World's on the clock. Let's see what he goes with here. He went with Jordan Addison last time. I'm going to compliment no matter who it is. Oh, my God. And then he takes Jaylen Warren. Never mind. I wanted to compliment the damn pick.
Tell me that was an accident. Tell me that was a
Is that an accident?
I think it had. He must have thought that Jalen Waddle was still on the board.
Was it Waddle?
Jalen Waddle in the 15th.
Yeah, that had to be what it was.
I was going to compliment the pick no matter who it was.
Might be a big believer in handcuffs,
Yeah, I'll
Do
trade
you have
you for-
Najee?
No, I have him.
No.
No, okay, never mind.
That's what I'm saying.
Was handcuff and Tony Elton put it back in the 18.
They're like, oh, you're gonna have to trade me.
All right. Well, for me here,
That's the pick
this
of
is
shame.
the time where I can start taking flyers, and I'm gonna take that guy. We talk about a guy like Michael Thomas who has been injured for 3 seasons. It feels like at this point, looks good right now through camp, and let's not forget 3 years ago he was the number 1 receiver in football statistically. So I'll take a flyer on him in the 12th round, and if it doesn't work out, hey, he's just a guy who's going to end up through waivers anyway. But if it does work out, get him in the 12th round. I think it's a great flyer spot.
Looks like Tarzan plays like Jane.
He says he didn't take Warren, by the way, but I see him on his roster. Something happened.
So who did he take?
Let's see, he's on his roster.
Wayne's.
I did not take Warren.
Yeah,
You
can I
did
get my
take-
back
you
up
did
again?
take him. Yo, I'll tell you right now, if Wayne was in our real fantasy league, he would piss so many people off because he'd be accidentally taking players that he didn't mean to take. And then we would trying to get us to redo the draft to go backwards after people pick. I don't know. But Jaylen Warren is now off the clock. Anchors away.
All right, so I'm gonna preface this as this is like a hate pick. I'm gonna take him for value here, but it's like but I'm gonna partially enjoy sitting him on my bench for most of this season just because of how much I hate him. So if you guys haven't gathered who this might be, Evan Engram, the former tight end of the Giants, who couldn't catch a freaking ball, couldn't block me as a defensive end when he was with the Giants. Had a pretty good year with Jacksonville last year. He apparently doesn't have to block over there, so he's doing much better. So I'm going to take a backup tight end here just in case Mark Andrews has been banged up a little bit. So I'm going to go with Evan Engram.
You don't think Joe Judge is to blame for some of the Giants' poor performance over those years he was there?
Don't forget, what's his name too? Pat Shurmur was also a grand coach.
Yeah, I mean, Evan Engram, man, it's a good pick. I think.
Yeah, that's a steal there, man. I mean, he finished top 5 overall this year, and you add Calvin Ridley to the mix. I mean, listen, you're looking at a linebacker maybe covering him, and it ain't going to work out in their favor. I think that was a great pick there.
Thank you. There is confirmation that Wayne did not take Warren. I don't know if everybody saw that, so he's defending himself in the chat.
It's okay, Warren.
Ref hates me, and lucky you can't hear me. It's cool though. I love you, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne, we don't hate you, dude. Honestly, the way you draft, we appreciate you.
We love you.
I'm taking Zach Charbonnet to back up my guy Cam Walker.
That's the move right there.
Nice.
That's the move. That is the move.
Good move.
Yo, did you guys see Zach Charbonnet last night?
I did.
Oh my God. Tell me, I don't know what Seattle's doing with that 1-2 punch, but man, he looks really good. I think he's the best running back in this draft. I just think the problem is he's not in the best position.
Just because I want him and I'm interested to see where the future goes. I like him. I think he's somebody who's going to vibe well with Lamar. He's had a lot of rest. We'll see how it goes. Give me Odell.
I think it's time in the draft where I start, instead of looking at the players that are on the board in front of me, I start looking at players that I really love. And in 12 rounds of 18, I'm going to go a little nuts here, right? So I want to draft a backup tight end, but I know that RJ won't take him the next 2 picks. So I'm going to use this pick to get value, and then I'll take my backup tight end the next pick, which is way down everyone's list, so I'm not worried about that. For the first pick, give me Trevor Lawrence to back up Lamar Jackson. So if Lamar Jackson decides he's scared of himself, I'll have Trevor Lawrence to back him up.
All right.
Okay.
It's on me right here. I really like this wide receiver. He always does well. He always does well when the quarterback's healthy and he's not saying let's ride 50,000 times a game and then throwing 8 interceptions. But this guy could be a top 20, 25 wide receiver in the league. And I'm going to go ahead and take Courtland Sutton with that pick. And then I'm going to follow up with a kid that I really like. I just don't like the team he plays for. However, the number 1 wide receiver is obviously going to draw number 1 coverage. So this kid could probably eat 2. I'm thinking maybe 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns is probably doable for him. And at this point, I just think it's worth the shot. I'm going to go ahead and take Brandon Cooks.
I mean, taking a backup tight end in this early in the draft is like taking a backup tight end on a real roster. And I'm going to do both of those, right? I have Kyle Pitts, and I'm scared of him. So I'm going to go take a backup tight end. He's number 2 on the depth chart on his own team. But I don't care because he's the best tight end coming out of the draft, and it's not close. Guys, Dalton Kincaid is a monster, and I don't think I'm getting him on the way back. And even if I do get him on the way back, I don't care. I'm taking him right now because I want him right now. So give me Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Buffalo.
Unreal.
You weren't getting him on the way back. Jimmy Graham 2.0.
Bro, guy's a monster.
It's going to be a slot receiver, not a tight end. That's a great pick.
Control, were you taking him?
100%. That's why you see that empty mark on the left side there at tight end. I was letting everybody get their tight ends in.
I'll trade you Kyle Pitts.
We'll figure it out. Let's see how everything shakes out.
All right, Hammertown.
Mm-mm-mm.
I knew I didn't take his pick because I don't think he knows who Dalton Kincaid is.
Me, no, that was definitely not what I was going for. I just like to see what bad wide receivers I want to reach for right now, and I'm like I could just say I could go. What I'm really liking is
Quez Watkins.
Chark, you know what I mean? DJ Chark, give me a little new quarterback, Frank Reich, Miles Sanders.
DJ Chark.
I mean, just throw him in the mix, see what happens there.
Oh, he went with DJ Chark? You were serious?
Yeah, baby.
DJ Chark.
You got a new quarterback, new running back, new coach, you know what I mean? Like somebody's got to catch some of the balls.
Well, that pick has inspired me to take his who will be taking his number one spot, and that'll be Jonathan Mingo from the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, we went. Oh, I like that pick. I think it's too early, but I like that pick.
I think Jordan's going to be asking for a redraft after this, so we might have to let him in.
I want to make sure we run it for the year. Just to see what
Yo, if Jordan wins the league after all this trash, it would be amazing.
Run it and see what the final stats are.
Yeah, we're gonna run it. Probably no trades. We'll just do pickups.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys want this already, honestly.
I actually don't think we should trade or pick up. I think we should run our whole roster.
Run the whole roster. You could just run points. Give me total points at the end of the year.
Now we're doing best ball.
Just give me, if you
Godfrey's losing it over a free league. He's like, "No, we're changing the rules again." God damn it!
My whole draft strategy changed.
My strategy would have changed.
Well, best ball is completely different than.
Anchor, you're up, brother. Who you going with?
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go here. This might be a little bit of a stretch, but we're getting into the potential time. And I really love combinations between QBs and wide receivers. So when Mike Williams inevitably gets hurt, Cottrell, Quentin Johnston's going to step in here, and I'm going to have the Herbert to Johnston connection and double up on my points every time.
I don't think you're going to have to worry about it. I think you'll have it right away. What safety is covering him? I mean, Keenan Allen will probably be in the slot, but the point being is there's going to safety that's going to double team in the middle versus Keenan Allen. I love that pick. I think Quentin Johnston has a great year. Bench, don't kill me now. Go ahead, take your quarterback, brother.
I already have a quarterback. I got the bad man in Aaron Rodgers, but we are definitely about to take his backup though, and that is number 4 out for the Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson. Tough. He's in a tough division, but I do think he has some matchups that will be favorable. So he's going to get the nod a couple weeks, but definitely like his upside, especially this late.
Deshaun Watson, Wayne's World, totally awesome. DJ Chark, DJ. Oh, he's going with Dakota Rain. Dakota Rain.
Yeah, Gene.
What?
You and Shawcross should do like a melody when on Wednesday nights. I think that would really draw viewership.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I got a great singing voice. I should be on American Idol. Eugene Hong and me.
And I should be a dietitian too.
Hackney's on the clock. Why is Godfrey Godfrey takes his camera off. He's like eating in between, hanging out. He don't want to be a part of this anymore.
I'm just pacing myself. I'm going off Cottrell's forecast for 3 hours. I'm trying not to faint over here. People got to poop sometimes, bro.
I'm going to go to the Redskins here. I'm going to take Jahan Dotson. I think he's going to have a good year. This late in the draft, it's worth dart throw on him, I believe. A lot of hype around him. And
last 5 rounds.
My next pick, I'm going to go off the board a little bit here. like for the pod here, if you're just throwing dartboards at this point, go ahead and grab your defense that you want. I messed up there and mishit on the Steelers when I should have hit the 49ers, but that's what I wanted. And get your statistical advantage somewhere else. It was supposed to be the Niners, but I'm happy with the Steelers defense.
So the 49ers defense is still on the board. The Steelers defense has been picked in the toughest division in football. I don't know how good their defense is going to put. I will tell you this, though. Week 1, you have a statistical advantage because I'm telling anybody that will listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1 at home versus the 49ers is an absolute lock. Did he take Ben Roethlisberger? Oh, Pat Freiermuth. I'm kidding. I love that.
No, he didn't take Pat. He didn't take Pat.
Oh.
He took the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Oh, God, Wayne, I was hoping you made a good pick.
Yeah,
But it's funny, though, you brought up Pat Freiermuth, and, you know, I'm pretty sure he's about to be my pick. You know what? Nah. We'll take the other guy in the division. We'll take David Njoku.
Bro, you did that because you didn't want to get ragged on to
Browns.
take a Steeler over a Brown.
Yeah.
We'll take David Njoku. Didn't realize Njoku was still on the board. Love that pick there. I got Njoku rated higher in my tight end rankings anyway.
I love it.
All right, I'm gonna take the Hackney school of thought here, and reap the benefits of his fat fingering.
There's nothing about Chris that's fat, bro. If you ever met him, he's the thinnest human being on the planet.
Oh, I know him. I'm used to him hitting line drives over my head at second base, so I know Hackney very well.
Well, he's not hitting him over the outfield.
Line drives. What? You mean pop-ups?
Dude, I swear I played Hackney probably 50 times, and he's probably like 88 for 94 against teams I play.
What, 15 years ago?
Yeah, Hackney's lost a step. Don't lie to him.
I'm just buttering it up so I can get on. What do you call it?
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, or that Tuesday night team when you cut me, Gene, when he comes back with that.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn. He's going for the jug here. He's hurting feelings out here.
49ers defense is off the clock. Godfrey's back on it.
I would have took them over the Steelers.
All right. Whew. Forgot that guy's all banged up. Not taking him. So was gonna go with Treylon Burks, man, but that guy just can't seem to catch a break. So I'm gonna go with the guy that's probably forgotten that I think has a lot of sleeper potential in the Packers offense. Got very short hands. I'm gonna go with Romeo Doubs.
Romeo Dobbs. I like it.
Great.
He calls him Dubs because he brings wins to him.
Right.
8-town down, Hammertown.
I agree with Treylon, but I got DeAndre over there, who's also a little bit past it, I think. But I do love wide receivers, superstar wide receivers. So I think I'm in there on Treylon.
This pick becomes easy for me. You guys all talk about quarterback to wide receiver connections. You guys took a wide receiver from this team already. I don't think he'll be the number one. I think the number one for my quarterback's Lamar Jackson, will be Zay Flowers. The guy's, I think he's grown like 3 inches since like the draft to now. Like he's had a growth spurt. That's not a joke, right? Like go look this up. The guy has grown. He used to be a small receiver. He's like grown like 3 inches. Give me Zay Flowers to be Lamar Jackson's number one wide receiver, and I'll take a flyer on him this late in the draft.
Yeah, but I need to know what he looks like with his shirt off, though, honestly. I'm really going to need to look at that.
This podcast is going to get deleted off Facebook.
What do you mean? I said nothing. This is PG right here. This is PG.
We got 4 picks left. 4 picks after this RJ pick. We all have 4 picks left.
All right, so this guy's pretty solid. I mean, every year, I know there's another back over there, but I feel like it's always going to be a running back by committee. So I just feel like this guy standing here, he finishes he's a flex running back in majority of 12-teamers every year. So honestly, I'm just going to take a stab at Antonio Gibson here, running back.
It's a good pick, bro. Good value.
And then for this, I feel like this kid's a stud, absolute stud. And actually, he wasn't really one of my guys last year, but he's one of Gene's. And kid's a stud, and I think he's going to do better than Njoku. And I'm going to go with Pat Freiermuth.
Booth. I like Pat Freiermuth. It's not often that you get to this point of the draft and you have a number 2 wide receiver on a team that can 100% break out. He had a good year last year. I think he has even a better year this year. And I don't know why he's fell down this draft board this far. I had so many wide receivers, I was avoiding them, but I'm going to take back-to-back wide receivers, and I'm going to take the man Gabe Davis.
Oof.
Knew that was coming.
He probably finished in the top 30 overall, dude. It was a great pick. I mean,
bro, with 3 flexes, I have 7 wide receivers right now.
Health a little bit of an issue, but Jalen Waddle and Tyreek, give me Tua, a backup quarterback for me.
That's a good pick.
I want to give it to Jordan for having his best pick in the draft.
Bro, George, that's so funny.
Only 13 rounds, baby.
I thought he was going to say Jalen Waddle was going to be his pick. I'm like, bro, he's not there.
I wanted the one who plays for Pittsburgh, but somebody already scooped him.
I don't know who that was. I needed
I'm
a
gonna-
backup tight end. I apologize.
I'm going to put myself out there and be the sponsor for the Dalton Schultz support group and draft him as my backup tight end.
See, that's huge right there. He's a sponsor. Hank, you found him.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's got a new home in the state of Texas that'll make him better. So I'm going back up.
Last year. I really do. I think he's
Yeah.
going to be great for the Texans.
Yeah. So I'm going backup quarterback here, and Bestville. As I'm only allowed to play him on 1:00 games. So no Sunday nights, not even 4 p.m. So hopefully my QB1 Justin Herbert has a bye on a week he plays at 1:00. So I'm going with Kirk Cousins.
Okay, stop the draft. Stop the draft. But I want this to be known. We can record this moment, an hour 48 and 19 seconds. Brett Anker took Kirk Cousins over his starting quarterback in New York, Daniel Jones, and he's a Giants fan. Let that be known. We can record that. We can send it to the Giants fan base. A $40 million quarterback is sitting in your own backyard. He went with Kirk Cousins. All right.
Yeah. I think he's about $32 million overpaid. So
I love it. All right, Cottrell.
Don't really know where I want to go here quite yet.
He's looking at
to be honest.
defenses. Look at him.
You know what? No, we're not quite there yet. We're not full in on Flyers yet. So I'm gonna go. Let's get us a backup tight end. Let's see what we got in this pool. Cole Kmet, Zach Ertz. Don't love any of those.
13 seconds, brother.
Oh, yeah, we're not. You know what? We'll take a number 2 receiver out in Chicago. We got Darnell Mooney. He's got the pressure off of his shoulders this year. He gets to be comfortable out there being receiver 2.
Well, I have 2 picks left, and I'm telling you right now, Wayne's World's up. But I have 2 picks left, and both of them will be nowhere near your draft boards. I'm taking them just for content to let you guys know in your 12-team leagues or your 10-team leagues who to take. But both these wide receivers, I think, have phenomenal years, and I think they take huge steps. They're definitely flyers, but we'll get into that. Wayne's World's on the clock. I'd love to see what he goes with here. Our resident Cowboys fan that we muted, if you're just tuning in. He went with Zeke. I didn't think he had any love for Zeke. Cowboys most turnovers, best defense in football, not just a homer pick. I like it. All right, I hear you. He said he wanted Cooks. Damn. Hack NATO, you're up for 2.
First pick, I'm going to take my backup quarterback.
Okay.
Geno Smith, great year last year. A lot of weapons, so that should help.
And he had the best quote of the whole year.
as we're talking about flyers and getting people. Well, my second round pick was Patrick Mahomes, and there's been a lot of weapons taken from that team. I'm gonna
No.
take Rashee Rice and hope that the receiver had have been bust the whole time.
Oh, thank God you went with the wrong one.
Oh,
You went with the wrong one. It's fine. I got you.
that's not the first time you heard that.
Control might just take one of them just to piss me off, but he knows exactly
for
what to
sure.
do.
I know one of them. I'll let you have the one. You could stay over there with that. But I'm gonna take a guy who I think can legit be the number one receiver on his team this year, and it is a rookie. Guy who I had in my top 5 receivers coming out in this year's class, and that's Jalen
That's
Hyatt.
the one.
From the New York Giants. I think Jalen Hyatt is clearly, you look here, he's ranked 1,047. I think by the middle of the season, he's going to be legit getting number 1 looks on his team. So this late in the draft, Gene's already talking about taking flyers on guys. Can't have him slip out of my fingertips.
100% with taking him. I love him. If you have not watched preseason Giants football, he scored 2 touchdowns. He's led the team in targets, both preseason games. He is faster than Tyreek Hill. That guy is a superstar in the making, Jalen Hyatt.
I'm excited to hear that as a Giant fan, Gene. I was very happy when they selected Jalen Hyatt.
It's a great pick.
as their
Guy's
third
faster than
round.
Tyreek Hill.
So I'm going with somebody that I'm hoping for the good feel-good story right here on a stretch. Could be a top target on his team based on they don't have much wide receiver depth here. And I'm writing the ESPY award right now for Comeback Player of the Year. I'm going with John Mechie out of Houston.
Oh, my God. I thought he was going to go with my guy.
Yeah, cancer survivor. Hoping that he comes back strong. He was pretty solid in college. I know he had an injury he was dealing with as well. So I'm going to go with John Mechie here and hopefully that we can write that feel good story.
He's got a crap quarterback though. That's his issue.
That's false. But Mechie has no shot at winning Comeback Player of the Year. That's literally already been voted for. DeMar Hamlin's already won it.
Yeah.
He can go out there, play one snap. He literally died on the field. They're going to give him the award no matter how bad he is, no matter how good Mechie is this year. So DeMar Hamlin's your lock for comeback.
That's a real comeback, right? He came back to life.
I have a lock.
Yeah.
My lock is taking Gene's guy, Justin Ross, KC wide receiver.
I hate you. Why?
That's for 6-point touchdown.
Yeah, you offended him, dude. You offended him.
Justin Ross is going to be the number 1 receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs post week 5. Number 1 receiver on the Chiefs post week 5. Mark it. Book it. Google what Patrick Mahomes says about this dude.
I got some of his rookie cards. We'll see. It'd be awesome. It's wide open there.
Bro, you and Control both took my sleepers that no one's taken in any league.
Back.
Here.
Hyatt, I'm taking in all my leagues. So
I feel you. I hate both of you guys.
You know, it's funny. I feel like Cedric Tillman was a
Who did Anchor go with? Greg Dortch? We're not reading picks out.
You guys were talking it up, bro. I didn't want it to pass. You know what I mean? No big deal. Had a good year. Interested to see what happens with Sean Payton. See what happens.
Don't you?
Russ can't be as bad as he was. So.
Guys, I have my last 2 picks already marked. I didn't even do any research past this. I'm just like shocked right now. Who do I want to go with? I have no idea. Let's go to defense. That'll be safe. We will go with a defense that has the best pass rush in football. We'll go with the Philadelphia Eagles, playing in that weak NFC East with 2 really bad offenses.
All right. I'm looking at this. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go here. I kind of wish I had one more spot left after this, but I got to take a defense. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the defense here as well. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and go with the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills.
Now I'm looking at this as see, there's so many things I can do here. I definitely need a backup quarterback, but Daniel Jones is a backup quarterback on a starting team. So I'm going to go ahead and go down on this list a little bit because I feel like this quarterback, he finished in the top 10 last year. I have high hopes for him, and I have St. Brown being a top wide receiver in the league. Therefore, I'm going to go ahead and take his quarterback, Jared Goff, as my backup quarterback.
Okay. I'm going to handcuff one of my later round running backs, which makes no sense. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Pretty sure. Let me just double check. Give myself one more run through. One more run through. Just looking through. Okay. I'm going to handcuff one of my running backs. The only one I think that has the potential not to be a number one. I'll take Jerick McKinnon as the passing back over there in Kansas City because I have Pacheco. So if either one goes down, one of them gets bell cow running.
McKinnon was a stud last year too. Pacheco just looked really good. Really good.
I got both of them. So if one of them breaks out.
I don't think RJ has had a bad thing yet to say about one of your picks, Gene.
Oh, I have. Trust me, I have. I'll go back and look at his list.
He didn't like Deontay Johnson. He hated that pick.
I like George Pickens over him.
Do you not like any of my picks, Cottrell? Tell me.
No, you got a good draft. I'm just.
Oh, what are you saying?
RJ,
is Lamar Jackson
RJ's he's your biggest cheerleader right now. That's all.
Oh, you called RJ a cheerleader just because he has tits? Don't mean he's cheerleader.
Don't you?
Handcuffing Javonte Williams.
Smart move.
That was great. I would do my handcuff too if somebody didn't take him 17 rounds.
Yo.
All right. I'm going to take a flyer here at running back. Hopefully his knee's not too banged up, that he can get a good start to the season and kind of cement himself with Alvin Kamara being out. So I'm going to go with Kendre Miller here as a flyer.
Interesting pick there. Let's see here. Where do I want to go? I think this is the time where I'm probably going to just take care of my defense because my last pick will be a flyer.
Yeah, go with the Browns, brother.
No, we're not rolling with the Browns.
I would go with the Commanders. All right. So, by the way, if anybody's streaming defenses, I stream defenses normally.
So do I.
Wait till your last pick. Take the Commanders. They're playing at home week 1 versus Arizona. They'll put up 15 points for you to help you get a win, and then stream defenses from then on.
I'll take the Jets defense. I love their talent, and they get to. I get it. They got the Bills and the Dolphins, but those weeks I'll just have to pick up a defense. But I love the Jets. I love their talent, and I think now that they actually have an offense, that defense won't be out there on the field as much, so they're going to look even better this upcoming year.
I like it. I like it a lot. Wayne's World, who's totally awesome. He took Tank Bigsby back up for Travis Etienne. Hackney's up for 2. I see Wayne taking those SEC backup running backs. I see it.
And taking this pick because I wanted to talk about this team. It's my last streaming defenses. I was waiting defense. Jackson is the team that I would be targeting. They get to play 6 games against CJ, Anthony Richardson, and Ryan Tannehill. That cow schedule, but it's they're going to be playing from the lead a lot and get to pin their ears back. That's a defense. If you need a defense, they start the season with Indy. I just really like that. If you wait,
well, as we wrap up the draft, I'm going to because this is the last round. I want to thank you for attacking. I appreciate everything that you contribute to the shows. hopping in the chat. Obviously, very knowledgeable. Look forward to playing multiple fantasy leagues with you this year. Thank you so much for hopping on. You can stay till the end. I just want to give everybody a proper thank you. Next is going to be Wayne's World, my guy from Dallas, the only Cowboys fan I actually like. Decent Madden player. I mean, not on my level yet, but he's decent. He's awesome. He's a great dude. Every chat. And if you haven't checked it out, Wayne's World Barbecue, that guy's friggin' phenomenal. He can cook a rib up like nobody other. Check out Wayne's World Barbecue. Guy's awesome. Are you going with Devin and Shane? Are you going with Devin and Shane?
I do want to throw Devin at Shane some love here. I think he's in a situation where he's probably, second or third on the depth chart, but just with his upside, you know what you're getting out of Mostert and Jeff Wilson. So if you just want a change of pace back and, maybe he's something that sticks out there in Miami. So I think, last pick in the draft, I take the flyer on him and I'd be, more than happy with his upside.
Didn't he just get hurt the other day?
Did he get caught at all?
Yeah,
he got caught.
Fine. It's a shoulder injury.
He's not seriously hurt.
It looked worse than what it was. They did the testing on it.
They've been carting off everybody, and for whatever reason.
Anchors away, your last pick, brother. I just want to, while you're making that pick, thank you so much. If you don't know, Brett Anchor's like one of the best teammates you could ever have on a softball team. Guy's intelligent. He's fun to be around. He's great in the chats and phenomenal third baseman. My man went ham last Sunday, making diving play after diving play. I think he was 7 for 8 in the doubleheader, helped us win both games. So awesome softball teammate, awesome guy, and even better friend. So Brett Anchor, I appreciate you hopping on today.
Thanks, Gene. Your words are really appreciative. You're going to move me to tears here, but I don't want to cry in front of all your friends. No.
Sure.
So I was thinking hard here. I have a lot of flyers, so I really want to go with somebody who I know is going to play. I was really tempted to go with Jameson Williams here as a flyer with him being suspended 6 weeks. But
6 weeks, though, that's a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to go here with Jacoby, if I can get the thing to work. Jacoby Myers, wide receiver number 2 out of Las Vegas. He was ranked 99 here on the list. Hoping Jimmy G spreads the love a little bit and the Raiders aren't completely inept on offense as a bench player for me.
Well, next one is taking it back with D. Godfrey. This guy, I get the privilege to do 2 shows with Thursday night. I get to do Birds Deep with him and Sideline to Sideline. He also has Taken It Deep, which is a funny show. If you haven't listened to it, he hasn't done that many episodes recently, but I'm sure it'll be back. Super intelligent guy, great friend, awesome human being. So thank you so much for joining us today, Godfrey.
I will not cry, but thank you for those kind words. But no, thank Gene. Gene's equally as the greatest person as well. Don't let him fool you. But I will tell you that the Dolphins are my pick because I got one name for you, Vic Fangio, for my defense.
Well, next on the clock is H-Town down, Hammertown, Jordan Schechter. You're talking about a guy I worked with when I was like 18 years old. Still friends with him. Super awesome person. Still reaches out to everybody. If it wasn't for him, this guy has bought a hoodie off me and waited like 8 years for it. He got like the newer branded hoodie because he bought a hoodie. I sent him his money back because I couldn't get to him and I wasn't mailing to him. I got the privilege to be at his 40th birthday party recently. He's got a lot of really good friends, a lot of great people to care about him. Jordan's awesome. New daddy. So you see Big Daddy in there. Great human being, dude. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Happy to be, man. Appreciate it. Good thing this wasn't for too much dough. Otherwise, I'd be more disappointed in my team. But we got to tally up some numbers, so I feel better. There's no way my team will be the worst team.
No, it's trust me, dude. It's not going to take long to look at your team and know it's the worst team. Trust me.
Just to really solidify it, I'm gonna handcuff Swift real quick with a dude who will probably play 14 snaps all year before getting hurt. But just to really get it home. But it's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, brother.
You
And
gotta
by
give
the
it
way,
a
I
think of.
just tried to physically talk Brett Anker out of taking this player because he was on my queue. It's a super scumbag move, and it's okay. I'm going Jamison Williams. I'm letting him sit for the first 6 weeks. I love Jamison Williams, and then why RJ is giving Mr. Irrelevant pick. This is my best friend in the entire world. If you don't know this, this guy, his son is my godson. Love him, his family, his whole crazy bunch of dogs that are in that house. But yeah, this is family, right? If you ever see the movie The Town, we're gonna hurt people. I need to go somewhere. He's like, whose car are we taking? That's my guy. That's my man. 100 grand, Big R. So I appreciate you hopping on. And Katral, I got something special for you at the end. So hold on.
So I just want to say thanks for inviting me. This was fun. I had a good time. Honestly, this was great practice for me as well. I was a little off-putting with the whole 6-point QB thing in the beginning, but I got over it real quick. Grown man status over here. Gene, I really do appreciate you putting me on here. Guys, I had fun with this draft. Don't take me seriously, man. I'm just a big, funny guy that likes to mess around a lot. Besides, Jordan's team's awful. But I'm going to go ahead because I got 27 seconds left on this clock. I want to drag this out just a little bit further. This could be the RB1 over there in Miami. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jeff Wilson Jr. on my last pick.
All right, so the last but not least person I want to shout out, the draft is complete. We can view the teams afterwards. We'll share it out on the Wire to Wire Sports Podcast page. But as soon as this thing I wanted to do as far as this fantasy draft came to fruition, the person that said he was in, I immediately gave him responsibilities. I'm like, bro, do you mind helping run it? How do we share it? Cottrell has been the man on the ones and twos for Wire to Wire for the last year, right? When everything fell apart with our production and where we were at before, Cottrell's like, dude, I'll figure it out. We'll take the reins. We'll get it working. I got the graphics rolling. I get this, and that. Got the pleasure to work with them at Verizon for a little while and talk sports with him. And it's so cool to be able to still be his friend, be at his wedding last April, and still be friends with him. So after Colorado wins 7 games, I'm going to be driving out to Ohio to deliver him a damn cheesesteak. But it's an excuse just to hang out with the guy. Even though he's an Ohio State guy, even though he's a Browns guy, a Cleveland guy through and through, I still love him, and I appreciate everything that you do for Wire to Wire. Appreciate everything you do for the page, and appreciate you being a friend, brother. So even though your team sucks, absolutely. I'm kidding.
I mean, you don't want to see us. I mean, we gave you guys the blues this weekend in training camp, and now you got to see us, come October for that Ohio State Penn State game. Those Nittany Lions got to travel all the way to Columbus, so get to give you another loss there. So, but I appreciate all the kind sentiments, and it's definitely fun every week getting to do Wire to Wire still, and the best is really yet to come because football season is kicking into gear. So we're about to have some fire content coming here pretty soon.
So by the way, I just checked the final standing projections, and I'm going to read them out to you guys. Coming in at number 8 in ESPN's opinion. Bench, don't fail me now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Perfectly fine.
Number 7, the man without a mic. Wayne's World, totally awesome. Number 6.
Spot, baby.
Number 6, the NFL genius himself, Gene Walzak, at the 2nd overall pick. Now, I don't know how this already happened from when the draft ended till now, but ESPN has a swap from 5 to 4. I don't know how that works already. We just ended the draft. But number 5 is Team Anchors Away. Team Anchors Away. You guys got to turn that background noise off. I don't know what that is. There you go. And number 4, Hammertown, H-Town's finest, Big Daddy. Number 3, taking it deep with the Godfrey. My man Godfrey drafted a stellar roster. Is it going to be Hackney or is it going to be RJ? That's the last 2. Number 2. You know what? We'll do number 1 because number 2 you'll know will be number 1. number one in ESPN's fictional mind of who won this draft. Chris Hackney. Ladies and gentlemen. See, he's got the belt there. He knows it. Guys, it was a fun draft as a whole. We'll post the results on Wire to Wire Sports Podcast. Make sure to share it to your page and then have guys vote on what team they like the best out of this 18 bracket. And I appreciate everybody hopping on. Any final words from anyone?
Just follow my draft, guys. My strategy's on point. You guys will make the playoffs and you'll be a top 4 team every year. You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, RJ. Anchor.
Have a good one, fellas. Nice playing.
Just can't wait to see my team perform, throughout the year, and I'll speak silently, and we'll at the end of the year I'll drink my own Kool-Aid. So,
okay, Godfrey.
I just want to know how repressed Wayne feels right now. That's all I want to know. He's been shouting at the camera the whole show, and no one can hear him. My man's been going crazy over there.
He's yelling at us, bro.
He's putting up signs like he's in a WWE crowd. He's gonna have a John Cena sign up next.
Okay. Hackney, any final quotes of the best draft?
Thank you. I loved it. Had a great time. Thanks, government. You are.
Gatrell or Jordan, anything else?
Just let's figure out a way to see whose team really stacks up at the end, and
Gatrell's on mute.
I feel confident that Hammertown, take it down.
Gatrell?
Yeah, no, and I was just saying that this was definitely a fun show. I'm glad we're gonna actually play the league out. It sounds like, and not doing any trading. So we'll see who really had the best draft here. It's always nice to have the rankings of being 1 or being 2 by ESPN standards, but that's really not where I want to be. I like when ESPN thinks I got a bad team because that means I'm probably gonna go on a deep run. So
I love that. Well, I have just one final quote to my team. I'm speaking to my fantasy football team when I say this. We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile. You fumbled the football, and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts, and then you will run a mile. This is Wire to Wire Sports Podcast. This is the Fantasy Draft, and we are signing out.